we're taking over Christmas. Not in the way you think. We're actually going to have an interview with the mayor of St. Mary's, and then we're going to teach you how to brew a beer from all grains, right from scratch, with no added preservatives.
Happy holidays, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. Stay tuned. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Lots of hijinks about to happen. Ooh, now it's a Halloween special. Alright, we're good. We're here with the mayor of St. Mary's, Al Strathdy. Thank you very much for joining us, Al. Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.
Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, whatever you want to say. Well, Al, what are the responsibilities you have as mayor? And I'm sure everyone's wondering, are you running for a second term?
Well, the mayor is a part-time job. I'm the head of council, and I'm responsible for speaking for the municipality for council. Duties, ceremonial duties. Today I got to be at the bridge opening and greetings and so forth, and I'm responsible for sort of signing all the bylaws and making everything run smoothly. As far as whether I'm running, it's a year from now, and you can maybe have Gloria on the show and ask her, actually. I haven't made up my mind, but we'll see. That time comes.
So how did the bridge opening go?
Well, I think it went really well, actually. We had a good turnout, and it was fun, actually. The guys from McLean Taylor were really good. They gave Mary Smith a piece of the original abutment they found. They dug out of the sludge, actually, so they cleaned it up. It was a piece of the concrete, the wall, actually, and they gave it to Mary for the museum, actually, which I thought was pretty cool, actually. So they did a good job of the bridge. I mean, it was on time, on budget. Braden Marcascio was the project manager and local guy, and so it was good. And people were really supportive of us upgrading some of the infrastructure and so forth, and it was time the bridge needed to be done.
You're a past president of the St. Mary's Kinsman Club. How has that helped you along with your position as mayor of St. Mary's?
I think being in the Kinsman Club really helped me with procedures and running meetings and building confidence in yourself and speaking. They put you on your feet quite a bit. You have to learn to think on your feet. I think that was really a positive thing. And I think being in Kinsman, any service club like that, it involves a lot of teamwork and working with people. And Swarty, I'm sure you never got stuck doing a project with someone you didn't think the best of. Actually, that's never ever happened. So those type of things really, I think, build a lot of skills. And I've always really enjoyed my time in Kinsman. Actually, I miss it some days.
You can always come back up to a meeting.
Yeah, I don't miss it that much.
Truth be told.
I'm just kidding.
Hard on the liver.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, are there any special privileges that come along with being mayor?
I got to be at the bridge opening. I get on Swarty and Harry. Actually, what could be more
Pretty
special than that? Actually, but
You don't get any free coffees when you go through the drive-thru.
No free coffees. No, I know that's sort of frowned upon. That kind of stuff. I mean, the one thing about being mayor is that I get to meet a lot of really interesting people. And you get to go to meetings and stuff, and people who come through town and stuff. So that's really what I enjoy. I mean, when I had my store and I was in retail, I really enjoyed meeting new people and that type of thing, and I got away from that. So that which really is, to me, the big thing about being the mayor. I get to meet new people and constantly different challenges. The other part of it is there's always new challenges.
Why do you believe the town of St. Mary's is the town worth living in?
I think that people really care about this town, and even though when sometimes you'll have controversies or people will get upset about things, it really shows me most times that people just really care. And I've always said St. Mary's is a special place because we've been left with an incredible legacy in terms of our history, in terms of the buildings, some of the people that have passed through here, been business place. I mean, there's been a lot of successful businesses and business people that have come through St. Mary's. Actually, we talk about Timothy Eaton or a lot of different small businesses that have gone on to be multinationals, like with the Thompsons and Richardson Foods, that went on to the Heinz took over and then squashed, actually, but that's another story. But the reality is, that this is kind of a special place now to do business. It's been very successful and has a very rich history, and you don't find those kind of places very often. People really, at the end of the day, I think people really, really care.
Yeah. What is one of your favorite memories of being in office?
I mean, there's been a few, actually. I mean, to me, one of the favorites was opening the Green Bridge. I mean, that to me was a really neat accomplishment, and it was just a really nice ceremony. But the other thing that I get to do quite often, and I really enjoy, is sometimes we get school groups through the town hall, and for tours, or I'll go to classes and speak and stuff. And I'm always amazed at how engaged and how smart and how much kids know now. Actually, I mean, when I was kind of in public school at West Ward School or something, it was like it'd be kind of like who was building the bigger fort with all the rocks down in the corner. And now the kids really care about the environment and kind of know what's going on actually. And you know, not just because they're doing this all the time, but because they're kind of connected, more in tune actually. So it always amazes me when I get a chance to get to have connect with youth like that. I mean, that's one of the fun things in the job as well.
So what advice would you like to give the people of St. Mary's? If you could give them any piece of advice that would last and that would be your legacy, what would you say to the town of St. Mary's?
Advice to people of St. Mary's. I mean, I don't know that I give advice to people of St. Mary's. I mean, politically, I always really encourage people to get involved because we have a great community, and everyone, the more people contribute, the better it is. And I find people most active, so I think that's important. But as far as, I mean, there's like 3 parts to that question. Is there something that you said something about
just basically the advice.
Just the advice. I mean, I think to get involved and care for your community and speak up and speak out. I think that's always important. That's part of the system. That's what makes the world go around, actually. So.
Thank you very much, Al, for coming on the show. We really appreciate it.
Thanks very much. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry
Christmas.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas. That's great, actually.
And let's get back to brewing some beer.
Now here's something we hope you'll really like.
Alright, so right now we're brewing a Christmas batch of beer. I'm about to add carafoam, which adds head retention to any ale that you're brewing. We have a couple pounds of grain here in the bucket already milled, so I'm going to go ahead and add the carafoam. Also, we're going to add a couple pounds of crystal malt, and that's going to get you your flavor there. So let's go ahead and do this. And our highly calibrated machine there thingy. And we got Phil Ruthig over here on the guitar for some brewing music. Phil, you want to sing a song for us while I'm doing this? You might want to sing loud. I don't have to ask you twice. Uh-oh, Ryan told me not to drop this on the floor.
Oh,
Then I'm going to take this little nifty thing. So basically we're going to take all our malt and our grain, and we're going to take that, and we're going to take this water right here that we've got to about 153 degrees Fahrenheit, and dump it right in here to this nifty mash tun. And we're going to mix this as we go because you don't want clumpy grain. It'll do something to the actual batch. So you want nice and smooth consistency when you're dumping that in, but you'll see that here in a second or two. We're going to let this sit here in the mash tun for about an hour, and then the process continues after that. You know what that means? So, okay, right now we're dumping all the grain into the mash tun with the water. So Harry, if you go, I'll stir. Like I said before, you don't want any clumps. I'll get right down in there, giggity. Oh, you gotta love the aroma here. Smells like grandma's oven.
At this point, we're going to separate the wort from the mash. We're going to get it back up to boil, and we're going to add in the hops. Mash.
I am voll laughing. I'm voll laughing, yeah, yes, voll laughing, yeah.
Because Swarty could not wort laugh.
smells so good. Oh, it's great.
Harry, what are you doing here?
We are boiling the wort.
And how long does that last for? At what temperature?
Takes about an hour.
And what temperature should it be at?
It's boiling.
Okay, so boiling temperature
Is 212 degrees.
Excellent.
Right now I'm adding the initial bittering hops. Most of the flavors from this are going to boil off. This one here is called German
Howler 2. I think is how you pronounce that. So we don't want to add them all at once because that would cause it to foam up and boil over. So we're going to do this process slowly. So we're at the final step of adding the hops in. These are our flavoring hops. We have here an Amarillo and a Citra hop. And we're going to put these in slowly and then we're going to start to cool it down. So now we're adding the finished product into the Chronicle fermenter. We're going to open up a pack of yeast here in a second, and you'll see I'm spreading it over the top evenly. We're going to then put the lid on. It's sealed with an airlock so that the pressure can get out and it doesn't explode on us. We're going to store it in a cool, dark place for 2 weeks. Then we're going to move it into a secondary fermenter. And then a week after that, it's put into the keg and pressurized with CO2.
Stabilizer?
Sanitizer.
It's sanitizer. I'm just using it to fill the vapor lock.
Watching everybody. We hope you learned a thing or two about brewing beer.
Yeah, it was great having the mayor there and having a chat with him. I hope you guys all have a great Christmas and a happy New Year. And
Play safe. Don't drink and drive. Hopefully Santa's good to everyone.
yeah, here's to 2018 and Merry Christmas.
Cheers.